discipline, setting parameters for yourself, like doing a juice cleanse, is not the easiest path. But now I see it as a gift, an opportunity to work within, to go within, to remove, clean out the bowels, because that's where all our inner turmoil stems from. So that is day 1 completed of my juice cleanse. I really can't say how many days I'm going to be doing. I feel called to go the distance, whether that be a minimum 41 days or 60 or 90 days. We'll see. I'm seeing how I feel. I feel like the last 2 juice cleanses that I did, I didn't go the whole. I started my first long one, which was 40 days 4 years ago, and that's what led me on this path of raw vegan lifestyle. And I feel that there's more deeper work as you go on this path, as you become more in tune with your body. You've seen me go from detoxification, building, and then transforming my whole life and my whole body. But there's moments in your life where there's more digging to do, and I feel called to do that. I just feel like I've started some patterns again that I didn't want to start, just through being so busy and stress and just disconnected. What I find is we've all got some trauma, some wounds that resurface, keep re-showing themselves. And we use food, we use lots of ways to distract how we run away from our problems, from these uncomfortable feelings. And we use food, and it could be other things as well. It's all related, like drugs, like alcohol, smoking, to distract, to escape, to numb, sedate. And when we're using it in a way that is self-destructive and not allowing us to grow and evolve, and we know we keep remaining stuck, if you don't feel called to this path, that's totally fine. But for those, I know there's many of us, and for a long time I felt very alone on this path, and now I'm seeing others resonate like on that same frequency, that same energy, and they just get it. And I find now it's like it's beautiful. This gift to juice cleanse, to go on a solid food vacation, is an opportunity, is a gift for ourselves and our cells, self and cells. And it's a really nourishing, hydrating, beautiful experience, because you start to see your weaknesses, your dark patterns. So we call it the shadow work. And if we're not in tune, we go through life and we just feel that life is just hitting us with these experiences that we don't like. Like we keep getting setbacks, we keep getting disheartened, we keep feeling hurt and angry. And my biggest emotion is anger. And now I'm more surrendering to, okay, this is my call. I didn't understand why I wanted to go back on a juice cleanse, because I thought I'd never go on one again, to be honest. I always felt you just do it one time. But now I feel called to go deeper into this work, and so that I can assist and help others. I feel when you experience this and you don't truly understand it until you go through it. And that's why listening to others who have gone this path, you can see why, and they get all excited. I don't feel like the ones that have gone the distance, they never ever regret doing a juice cleanse on a solid food vacation. And I'm taking advice. I'm watching others on this who has been on this path or on this path already. But I'm watching John Rose, who's my ultimate. I love his work. I love Shane Sterling. I love those that Dr. Robert Morse, those that have gone before us, that are these leaders, these teachers that are helping others transform through these juice feasts, solid food vacation, and absolutely turn the whole life around, transform. Like it transformed my life, along with psychedelics. Absolutely changed my thought process. It healed not just my physical, what I had, like the fatigue, the the binge eating, the emotional eating, the comfort eating, all that's linked to psychological. Everything's linked, the physical, emotional, spiritual body. They're just layers of part of who we are, our existence. And I feel called this time to do some healing work. I still feel these attachments to foods, and there's the parasites, there's fungus there. I know I've got fungus. I've been ever so exhausted, and a lot of it's mental, I know it is, but it's all linked. The gut's fatigued, it's been working extra hard, it's had burden on them. I did eat some heavy cooked foods recently and just not my best. And that is not my primary reason why I'm doing the juice cleanse. I just know there's work to do. It's an intuitive call, and you only know that until you've gone through a cleanse or you're on the raw living lifestyle. For me, it's more cleansing. It's more about healing all parts of myself. Healing the emotional body, healing the spiritual body, healing the physical, the mental. And I've still got attachments. I went through a phase of this addictive cycle not so long ago, and I was getting in my, when you're really in your flow and success, and I started to see other friends, not in this lifestyle, but really in the wealth movement and having so many addictive patterns. I thought that it looked great, like having all of that, like a lot of them got, having these parties, they've got all this money, they're feeling like they're on this high. But I noticed when you're on that high path and not in tuned and not in good health already, you lose yourself, you disconnect. And I found them, and I caught myself wanting to be like that, in the sense of wanting all that they have and their achievements. But then they were going to alcohol, drugs, weed, cannabis, food. And I was very conscious of it. Luckily I was, but there was still parts of me that wanted to be part of that. And luckily I didn't. I felt like I wanted this full stimulation and this high energy life, whereas only brings you back crashing down. There's a consequence when you go on the path of trying to get the next fix, the next high. So you've got the highs, you've got the escapism, you've got the numbing, sedating. It's all part of these addictive behaviors. This is never going to give us true fulfillment. This is never going to give us harmony. And I caught myself living in a space. I've created an environment. I've got a retreat here that's peaceful, that's harmonizing. I come back and I was doubting what I was creating. I wanted the high life. I wanted this fast track life of full of stimulating energies, which truly, honestly, what I find is just not true health, wealth, happiness, fulfillment. I feel what juice cleansing does is bring you back to your center, brings you back to alignment, brings you back to what's really important, because you lose yourself. When you're in this life, we're all in this survival, constantly chasing, wanting things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when we do it at the cost of trying to get there through these stimulating drinks, like coffees. I mean, so many of my friends who are in the wealth space, and I mean, billionaires, real that that got these patterns that are destructive to their health. And it will catch up. They may not feel it. Some of them do. Some have to keep even taking more of these substances to keep just sane through the day. And it catches them. And in no time, I've had friends sadly pass away from alcohol because they're chasing that fix. Not even just that. They're not just chasing the fix. They're chasing an escapism. And because they truly don't know what they want. They thought all this money, all this wealth, all these properties would create a life that they wanted, but they lost themselves in the process. I feel you can have all that, but your foundation should be your health, should be the starting point, and have this slower paced life. Slower paced, we don't have to succumb to what life or what you're seeing outside. It's only one reality what we're seeing. We're seeing a fast paced, disconnected society, but it's not all like that. We don't have to have that. When I went through my first cleanse, I was the slowest, chilled, peaceful I've ever been, and I brought in the most money. That is when I invested actually in Bitcoin. It's interesting because that was the period I just went with my intuition. I just put a little money that I had into certain things, into some investments, into my health and wealth. And I did the juice cleansing, and I was in this alignment. I was guided to choose what was the most highest for me. You know, it's interesting to look back. Like, I got into this raw vegan lifestyle, started to coach. I started to get my first client in that first month because I was sharing the juice cleanse. And I had very little money. So just to give you some backstory, it was in 2020 during the what was happening. And I went through a breakup. And I was also moving. I was supposed to move abroad. So I had to leave the house that I was currently living in and move into another house. And I was in so much fear, being on my own with the world, what was happening. But I just knew deep down this is an opportunity to do a cleanse, to really, instead of everybody going into real fear, freaking out, I slowed down. I went within. And it was that month, I got so many downloads. Don't get me wrong, I did have still the fear. I didn't have complete trust. But for the most part, I was surrendering. I was just like, okay, let it come up. Let it do what it needs to do. I cried, I purged. The juicing really helped me go within, slow down, and look and reassess at what was best for me. The downloads, when I was doing my meditation practices, it was much more easier to gain those insights. I felt a calling, a guiding way within me. And I just started to choose. Like I went into investments, put money in a few things, the money that I didn't really have, the money that was going on the juices. But I just surrendered, and I got my first client that month. And then I got another client the second month. And things were getting exciting. I went to Koh Phangan, an island, for 6 weeks and did some psychedelics. That blew my mind. I came back a new person. I did the 40-day juice cleanse. I did psychedelics. I then came back to Phuket, and then I experienced a 9-hour, I think it was about 8 or 9 hours, full immersion, psychedelic, blindfolded experience that changed my whole trajectory. I just knew I was on the right path. Everything became clear, all my past. I made the connections, the traumas that I was experiencing. Didn't understand why I was always in fear before. Like I was always in this turmoil of not trusting, always in this anxiety. Like I constantly had anxiety, depression. And it's because I lacked trust. And that all came down to the abandonment within the family dynamics, being kind of pushed out. No fault of their own. I left home at 16, in and out of home, but traveling the world by myself. It was scary. I never had that real support system. And I know now that's why I react the way I react, and why I have these anger tendencies to the world, to people, to myself, and why now I hold myself so high, at a higher level, which now I used to feel that was a weakness. Now I embrace it, because discipline, setting parameters for yourself, like doing a juice cleanse, is not the easiest path. But now I see it as a gift, an opportunity to work within, to go within, to clean out the bowels. Because that's where all our inner turmoil stems from. Gut is your second brain. Everything that we feel disconnected to is because we've numbed ourselves with these high, denser, toxic foods that's creating an environment for fungus, parasites, that's keeping us addicted to these foods. But I really work towards more of the mental, the emotional, the psychology behind the patterns we have, the why we do what we do. I'm so passionate about it. And they're linked. It's all linked. A raw lifestyle, going on a juice cleanse, you can't hide. You can't run away. You have to face everything. And it's too much for some people. But for me, I just knew this was my calling. This is what I needed to do. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like confusion, unsure, the juice cleansing, if you focus, just be tunnel vision on it. Don't look outside what other people are saying. Follow those that have done a cleanse. Follow those that are experienced, that are sharing what they went through. You know, there's some out there that don't share the cons to the life. This protocol. This isn't a lifestyle, by the way. A juice cleanse is temporary. It should not be a lifestyle. You need the fiber. You need to get back to the fruits, 100%. But this allows to unburden the body and give it rest and focus on regeneration. But yeah, see this as an opportunity to really work on where you're off, where you're not connecting, where you're in this misalignment. This will reconnect you. Now, you can still do your everyday things, but you'll have more time to really work within. And I highly recommend to just take some time for yourself. If you've got a full-time job, it's okay. You can still, this is what's great about a juice fast, juice cleanse, solid food. It's not really a juice fast because you're taking in calories, which is phenomenal. And that'll give you the energy that you need to work through what you need to do the things, your everyday things, but try not to have too much stimulating things going on. If you're at work, come home, try not to do too much with friends and family. This is the time to go within. It's time to really take some time out and use this as a sacred time to reflect, sit, to just be here. We don't do that enough. And this is where you're going to get that clarity and feel. If you're feeling the detox symptoms like nauseous, I did on day 1 yesterday. If you're feeling with headaches, fatigue, there's certain things you can do to help. Making sure you've got a bowel movement every single day. But if you're feeling some intense feelings, sometimes just sitting with it. If it's too much, then go for a walk, get the body moving, do the trampoline, get the rebounder, because you want to really be eliminating a lot of that's just stagnant energy that needs to be moved. Sometimes you just need to rest. And this is intuitive. I can't share with you exactly what you need to do. I mean, we can do the coaching, we can do one-on-ones where I can help you process what you're going through and give you solutions from my experience and what I've seen others experience, my clients. But really, this is a process that if you sit with it, you will get the downloads, the truth of what is for you. Oh, I'm in a state of bliss right now, to be honest. I didn't feel called to start the cleanse on the 1st of March. I started the 5th of March because I just wasn't quite ready. There's just this call, and I'm ready. I'm ready to slow down not in my work that's in alignment, but in finding out what isn't serving me anymore. This is what you'll find. You'll find like you just let go of people, things, attachments, jobs, potentially. Just work, things you don't like, jobs in general, just things that you know and just not in your highest path. And you start to feel called to where it is for you and just have this trust and surrender. And if fear and anxiety comes up, We just need to be with it and acknowledge it and allow it to come up. When we're trying to shove it away, move it away, we're not really getting to the root. We're not in the truth of who we are. So feel and go through. I will be going more into detoxification, but my work is mostly on our mental health, the mindset behind, because I believe 80% of it, yeah, it's good knowing how the body works, the lymph works, detoxification, elimination. That's all great. But really what it boils down to, 80% of it is the mental work. That this here is so, so powerful. We can create harmony or disharmony in the body through our mind. We can have food to assist us, which is the cleanse. Solid food vacation is going to assist us, let the body do its own natural healing. But really the work is here. What we're listening to, what we're putting through our mind, what are we allowing to cause us disalignment, disconnection. So let's bring back who we really are and sit with those questions like, why am I here? What is at my highest good? What is the truth? Yeah, I'm feeling very relaxed, in a state of euphoria right now, and I love, this is what the juices can do. Sometimes it can stir up some uncomfortable feelings, not just physically, like the nausea, stomach uncomfortability. There's many things that you can experience, and it's totally normal, but it's really about the way we think and where we perceive what's going on. We can perceive this as a challenge, that it's difficult, that it's scary, that is this the right thing? I'm already skinny. What I was going through before, I really don't want to do a juice cleanse. I don't want to lose any weight. I don't want to lose what I've built. But I'm like, but what is the reason? Why? You've been called to do this for a reason. I'm digging deeper. I know my mission. I know there's a reason for it that is bigger than myself. It's to help others find their truth, their answers that they're seeking, where they feel so disconnected, they've lost themselves. And we're going to bring you back to your harmony, back to your alignment, where you feel safe, where you feel loved, where you feel you're on this path, you're going in the right direction, and that it's okay to experience what you're experiencing, and that this is a gift that you've given to yourself. This is a form of self-love. Every day when I'm drinking those juices, I know I'm nourishing my cells inside out. I'm allowing the waste to come out, flush out the toxins, allowing my body to rest, allowing myself to really just be in the moment. And you'll experience this absolute bliss, euphoric feeling that you'll never ever understand until you do it. And it's a different level. Like, some people think they're healthy, because I thought me being high raw for years, 6 years I did high raw until dinner I was doing. I thought I was at a good level. And it was not until the next step, I was doing more raw days, I was doing some mini juice cleansing, and it was like, wow, this is a phenomenal, beautiful, pleasurable experience where I can actually listen to my guides, listen to my inner world, and let it direct me in the righteous path, in the path of bliss, the truth, the real fulfillment, not these quick fixes, not these destructive behavior patterns that are keeping us at low frequency, keeping us not well, keeping us sick. We have a disharmony in our life, in our body. That's what causes disease. Let's heal from within. Get out the way, get the foods out fast with juices. And let the juices do the work, and the rest, the mental, is where we will be doing the work. So when I'm doing my juices, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm just being, I'm allowing my thoughts to come up. I'm asking, what is the highest truth for me? Is this love? Is this coming from a place of love? So anything that I'm reacting to, I'm just better at responding and reacting in more loving ways rather than this self-destructive. I started to notice myself going into these negative patterns of, wow, I don't like this person. I really had this anger towards them, or anger towards myself or the world. Like, especially when I'm seeing a lot of suffering. I'm in dog rescue, and I see, as an activist, or I used to be heavily an activist, but I still feel called to share the truth on the head. There's a lot of suffering. And I know by creating suffering within, reflects, mirrors out. I can't add to that. I know deep down the work needs to be within. Heal me, heal the world. As Louise L. Hay says, and Wayne Dyer, we can't heal outside. We could only heal within. And it reflects, everything mirrors, everything's energy, everything's energetic. And I'll be talking more about that. So, but yeah, that's my first thoughts so far. I needed a rest. That's what I was sharing before, is that I needed some time off, and now I'm coming back. I'll share with what I'm processing, and hopefully this will support you, or maybe make you feel that you're not alone in this, and that it's okay to surrender and trust the process. Or you might be interested, you might be feeling called to do a juice cleanse, and yeah, you may feel one coming up for yourself and just getting yourself prepared. That's phenomenal. I will be sharing more in my Rawlicious app of the processes, everything more in detail. That's all in that support group. So if you do want that support and community and access to all of the calls, the modules and things like that on this cleanse, the protocols that I'm sharing, the protocol that I'm doing, that's all in there. So if you are interested, do check that out. Yeah, as I always end with be, feel, and stay Rawlicious.